Today's story begins with a quiet winter morning that turned into a neighborhood legend. Before we get into the firestorm that followed, make sure you like and subscribe for more stories. The cold had settled over the neighborhood in a slow, creeping way that made every porch look frostbitten and every roofline carry a thin, silver glaze. The narrator had prepared early for the season, stacking rows of firewood beside the shed. It felt like a small fortress of comfort, neat and reliable. For a while, everything stayed exactly as it should. Then, the pile began to shrink. Not randomly, not by accident. Each morning, a few pieces vanished with almost disciplined consistency. At first, the narrator brushed it off. Maybe they used more than they remembered. Maybe family grabbed some. But as the days passed and the pattern sharpened, it became clear something else was happening. The neighborhood had many quirks, but only one person had the special talent of helping herself to things that didn't belong to her: Karen, the HOA's self-coronated queen. She floated around the street with that practiced look of disapproval, always ready to enforce rules she never followed. Her reputation lingered behind every hedge. She had reported kids for sidewalk chalk, scolded neighbors for leaving trash bins out for an extra hour, and argued about mailbox height like it was a matter of national security. So it didn't feel surprising when the narrator caught a faint glimpse of her one morning, strolling along the fence line. She approached the shed with the confidence of someone retrieving belongings from her own yard. She bent down, selected 2 logs, and carried them away like she was shopping at a personal store. That sight cemented everything. The theft wasn't an accident. It wasn't confusion. It was entitlement wrapped in a winter jacket. The narrator held their frustration close, letting it simmer until a plan formed. Not the kind of plan fueled by yelling or confrontation, but the kind crafted with patience. They visited a specialty supplier and bought hollow logs designed for controlled burn demonstrations. The logs were filled with harmless gunpowder pellets that created a dramatic but safe burst of fire. No injury, no property damage, just a loud reminder that actions have consequences. These hollow logs looked identical to the real ones. Bark texture, weight, color, everything. The narrator placed them on the top row of the stack, right where Karen loved to do her silent shopping. The next morning, Karen returned as predictably as sunrise. She plucked 2 of the hollow logs, tucked them under her arms, and strolled home without a glance over her shoulder. The neighborhood settled into its usual evening stillness. Then, as lights glowed through windows and families settled in, a sharp boom echoed across the street. A burst of light flashed behind Karen's curtains, followed by the frantic wail of a smoke alarm. The explosion startled the entire block, but caused only smoke and a scorched fireplace grate. Karen burst out of her house moments later, flustered and covered in a swirl of ash. She searched the street for someone to blame, but everyone else stood in their driveways with the same wide-eyed confusion, watching the drama unfold. The HOA called an emergency meeting at Karen's insistence. She arrived ranting about exploding firewood, but as she described exactly how she obtained the logs, the board members stared at her with dawning disbelief. In trying to explain the blast, she revealed her habit of stealing firewood. Her authority crumbled in that moment, stripped bare by her own words. After that night, she kept her distance. The firewood stayed untouched. The winter felt calmer, warmer, and far more peaceful. If you enjoyed this story, like and subscribe for more.